And welcome to Lakeview High School in Columbus, Nebraska for C1 football action between the Lakeview Vikings and the David City Scouts. Thank you so much for joining us here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com. Brandon Axman with you alongside Grant Otten. Rachel Urbanski will be patrolling the sidelines all throughout the night. Grant, senior night for this Vikings team, currently at 3-4. Their playoff hopes hang by a thread. They need to win these last two games to give themselves any sort of shot mathematically. As for David City Scouts, they're 2-4 on the year and basically playing for pride at this point.
Yeah, the Scouts and Lakeview, it's a great matchup. It's a matchup that's pretty well contested each year, and look for a great night out of the seniors, and pretty excited to see this game go on. So.
Got beautiful fall weather for this evening. Taking a look at key players for both of these games, we're going to start with the David City Scouts and Dustin Papa, number 10, the senior quarterback. Player you need to look out for David City. He didn't start as a quarterback as a junior. He was injured. He's really taken over the reins for this team as a senior. He's mainly a rushing quarterback, but talking to Coach Amp Ferg said he's really developed his arm these past couple of weeks, and he's going to have to be on point, as they say, if the Scouts want to come out here with any sort of result.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great key player. I'm looking forward to see how he does. I think Brandon Thewin's another guy that's looked to be pretty productive on the David City offense, so we'll see how that pans out.
As for the Vikings, you got to pick a senior on senior night, and Trent Roth is a good one. He is the running back, leading rusher for this team. He's averaging 8.5 yards per carry, but Grant, what makes him so good, he's also very well out of the backfield. He catches passes. He also has over 200 yards receiving. He's accounted for over 5 to 6 touchdowns for this Vikings team, and he's going to be a handful for this Scouts defense.
Well, Trent Roth, a great player. I'm going to go the opposite way on this way. Quarterback two, Dustin Johnson, or Dylan Johnson, excuse me, is going to be a great player. He's going to have to be pretty active as well for them to be successful, but Trent Roth, big night.
Wraps up the key players for our pregame. Keep your eyes out for both of them right now. We're going to hear from head coach Kurt Frenzen as he gets ready to coach his team on senior night.
What did you do differently with your team this week to prepare them for this game?
We had a really tough week of practice. David City's always been a really down-and-out football team, blue-collar football team, so that's the kind of practice we had. We played hard-nosed all week long and did as much contact as the rules allow just to make sure that they're physically ready to go and mentally ready to go.
Okay, it's senior night, last home game for the seniors. How do you feel about that?
It's tough. It's bittersweet. It's possibly our last home game that we'll have here with this group of seniors. I just took a moment to thank them for everything that they've done. They've been a great group. They've done everything we asked. They have positive attitude. They're a hard-working group that really has built a lot of team unity amongst this team. And it's a group that I'll remember for a long time. They're one that's going to hold a special place in my heart for everything that they've done on the field, out the field, in the classroom. Just great leadership all the way through. So hopefully, things can keep going our direction. But the best thing about it is after I thank them, the best thing is we got at least a couple more weeks of football, and we're going to enjoy every minute.
Great. Well, that's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And the Vikings and the Scouts getting ready to take each other on. Kickoff just around the corner on ColumbusNewsTeam.com.
Junior, number 2, Ross Kirby.
At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price, plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We really focus on the people that we serve. Relationships are the most important thing to us, and because we're smaller, we're flexible enough and we can make those quick decisions to meet your needs.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Wake up in your first home. Wake up in a home you've made a bit bigger. Wake up in a home with a new address. Wake up in a home that doesn't even have an address. As your life evolves, your dream home evolves too, and protecting it takes committed support. At American Family Insurance, we support your dreams.
In Columbus, see American Family Agent Roger Iwanski.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Welcome to Columbus Tire and Service in historic downtown Columbus. We as a team never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. We're authorized dealers for Goodyear, Hankook, and Falcon, but we can get you any vehicle tire you want. We offer full automotive repair by 4 qualified, experienced technicians. We are a qualified farm tire dealer, and we offer 24-hour on-the-farm tire service. Request service, shop for tires, or request a quote at ColumbusTireandService.com, or give us a call to set an appointment, 402-564-6229.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We really focus on the people that we serve. Relationships are the most important thing to us, and because we're smaller, we're flexible enough and we can make those quick decisions to meet your needs.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus. At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price, plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Central Community College, investing in you. Academic transfer, business, health, and technical courses all available at a fraction of the cost of a university. Small class sizes for an enhanced educational experience. Get started on improving your future. Contact Central Community College Columbus campus.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price. Plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience.
And welcome to Lakeview Field, where we're getting ready to kick things off senior night. David City comes to town to take on the Lakeview Vikings, and Lakeview will be receiving first, which means they have a chance to get on the board first, Grant. And kickoff is underway as the Vikings take it right at the 15. Glad you're with us here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com as Lakeview gets a decent return near the 40-yard line. This is where they will start things.
The left side there, nice little open up. So good field position to start here going from the 35. You know, Lakeview, I think, is a team that's going to need to get clicking both offensively and defensively to be as successful as they can be. And I think when they are clicking on both and getting in a rhythm on both offense and defense, they're a top-tier team in this class.
Talked about it in pregame. The Vikings, if they want any chance to make the postseason, need to win these final two games. And it all starts right here. And there's a nice run to get things going for the Vikings as Dylan Johnson keeps it himself, gets a gain of 7.
Dylan Johnson, a guy who we know likes to work on his feet as well as has the ability to throw too. A little quarterback sweep there around the right. A play I think we are going to see a couple more times this game. 2nd and 2 officially.
Man in motion for the Vikings. It's going to be a jet sweep to that man in motion. Going to be close to a first down. Trent Roth with his first carry of the evening.
Trent Roth, the guy that gets a lot of carries for Lakeview, who helps Trey Shanks with a little bit of that running load, and a guy that does a good job at that. We'll see him get a few carries tonight. We've seen him break a few big runs this year.
So fresh set of downs. Trent Roth got 2. This time they fake it to Roth and go to Shanks for the first time. David City defense, though, snuffed that one out. Loss of 1.
And Ross Kirby getting in the backfield there, coming off the blitz, getting in there and making the initial hit. Matt Ellers coming in and alongside Matthew Lewis to get in there and kind of finish Shanks off.
So 2nd and 11 for Lakeview on this opening drive. This time they fake it to Shanks, and Johnson's going to keep it himself. Johnson still going on the outside. That's enough for a first down. Gain of 17 by the quarterback.
You know, I love the read option for this Lakeview team. Kurt Frenton has done a really good job of kind of getting this offense down to the basics, kind of, putting it down to its skeleton and just making sure the guys that they know how to run the ball, that they trust with the ball, are keeping it. You know, you're talking Trent Roth, Dylan Johnson, and Trey Shanks, and so far all 3 of those guys have had to carry this game.
This time they go back to Shanks for his 2nd carry. He has better luck than the first time. Looks like a gain of 1.
Just a little bit of that dive action off that left side. That read, a good play. A high-level success play for Lakeview. Something I imagine we're going to see quite a bit tonight as well.
2nd and 9.5 officially. There it is to Roth. He's going to take it around the outside. Little stiff arm by Roth as he gets enough for a first down. That's a gain of 11, and The Lakeview Vikings just marching right down the field.
Yeah, some nice blocking downfield by Austin Foltz, the wide receiver. And, of course, those offensive linemen as well to kind of open that one up. But I like that read. That motion is all different forms for them. The QB sneak there.
Yeah, they called Roth out of bounds before the first. It was a gain of 9, so hence that last sneak play. We'll see if they give it to him here. And
they're going to
looks like, yeah, marking him just short, so 4th and inches. Looks like about 1 inch to go. And there is the push by the Vikings. Looks like it'll be enough for a first down.
You see Trey Shanks coming in there kind of giving the forearm to Johnson to help him get his way across there. Nice job. You know, those quarterback sneak plays really just rely on the offensive line, and it's not a complicated play. You just got to bury your nose into the dirt and just move your feet forward and try and, you know, just get enough yards yourself so that your quarterback can kind of fall over the line.
So fresh set of downs with this one, and going back to Shanks right up the middle. Another short gain, maybe 1 for the Vikings. Shanks has that big play ability, but right now the Scouts defense is keeping him bottled up.
Yeah, and Matt Eller's just a sophomore, doing a good job so far this drive. Now Lakeview is moving the ball pretty good, but Matt Ellers has been in the backfield about every single play, or at least causing some form of disruption. He was on the tackle there.
So 2nd and 9. And this time the option read. Johnson's going to keep it himself with room to run on the outside. And he's still going. He's brought down near the 5-yard line, and that is a big run of 20 yards for the Vikings as they are well in scoring position.
And you can really see that David City Scouts defense is keying on Trey Shanks. Now, Shanks, like you said, has not really done anything so far this drive. Or granted, we're still on the very first drive of the game, but they're going to need to watch out for Johnson as well.
So ball officially on the 4. It's going to be a keeper by the quarterback. And going to be marched short of the touchdown.
See him pull it there. He had the linebacker they had a linebacker kind of in a spy position, kind of a QB spy. So unable to get that one across the line.
So they mark him at the 2. 2nd down upcoming and goal to go. And Johnson's going to keep it again. Johnson, they give it to him. Lakeview Vikings on the board first after that 2-yard punch-in by the quarterback.
Read option. I mean, that's what we've seen this entire drive now. We saw a couple dives there mixed in, but really just read the entire way. They switched up the running back, but as you can see, as long as they got Dylan Johnson at quarterback, they're able to move that ball downfield. Scouts now need to answer.
Well, this Lakeview offense is one that's multifaceted. They definitely don't have to run. Dylan Johnson can throw the ball just as well, and they have receivers to do it. I talked to Coach Frenzen, though, prior to the game. He said, we're going to try to run the ball a lot more than we normally do this game. And true to form, there was about 8 or 9 runs right down the field there, not a single pass.
Yeah, Dylan Johnson, absolutely a pass threat. And I wouldn't be surprised if, they keep hitting him read, and then they open up with just kind of a read play action, pop one over the top, down to one of their bigger receivers. You might see Foltz down there. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that later on in the game. But like you said, the run seems to be working. So, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Scouts are going to have their first crack at things here, though. That drive just under 4 minutes. There's 8:03 left on the clock, but that's exactly what you want to see for Coach Kurt Frenzen on that one.
Yeah, Lakeview's defense has, this isn't exactly the matchup we've seen Lakeview against, a team like Boone Central or Wahoo, but we've seen them play teams like that. And then like Wahoo, they came out and the defense was very strong, did a very good job. And then against Boone Central, they gave up quite a few points. So, depending on which defense we see today, that's really going to decide this game. Logan Detmer back to receive for the Scouts, the 6'2" senior.
fielded near the 10-yard line. Nifty moves by David City as they get near the 35-yard line to start things. And there you see Detmer, as you said, a good return threat.
Yeah, and about the same starting position we saw Lakeview with. So if this is a sign of anything, then we might be able to see a nice little drive here from David City. Just like you talked about before the game, Dustin Papa, very key to this offense, the quarterback. Looking to see some good action out of the running backs, too, and see if they can get the run game going.
So Twins to the left, and they're going to stay to the ground for this first one. They go to Thuin, who goes right up the middle for a gain of close to 3.
Thuin, a guy who does carry the blunt of these loads for David City. Kind of a little pitch, not a dive, but a kind of a pitch off tackle there.
Take a look at these starters quickly for this David City team. Papa, Brandon Thuin, the two just had the run. Ryan Worm, Benzena, Detmer, and Kirby, the skill players on this Scouts offense. And here's 2nd and 6 upcoming. Right back to Thuin as he powers forward for a gain of 2 more. Taking a look now at those big boys up front who paved the way. Anthony Tebby, Riley Kirby, Matt Lewis, Melvin Corrado, and Matt Eilers. 2 sophomores on that line obviously makes it a little bit tougher when you're a team, but they're getting good experience for the next 2 years.
Yeah, we've seen this David City offense do some good things. We got a call game earlier this year with SCOTUS, and that was definitely a tough matchup in a tall order, but they did have some highlights throughout that game.
So here comes 3rd and 5, and the David City Scouts go to the air. And Detmer was the intended receiver, but could not connect. Going to bring up a 4th and 4 situation for David City.
Yeah, that ball just a little bit over top, like the corner route call. Need to get that ball just a little bit tighter, but he was pretty well covered up. You saw Chase Lemberg there on that coverage, Trey Shanks as well.
And here is the starting defense for the Vikings. Fultz, Cobes, Duncan, Werdeman, Shanks, and Jansen making up that line and linebacking core of this 4-3 defense. And here comes the punt by David City. It's a short one, and it's fielded and not even fair caught, though. Chase Lemberg showing he's not afraid of anything.
That was he was surrounded there. I probably would have fair caught that one myself, but you got to love having a guy who's back there receiving punts that isn't afraid to maybe take a hit.
And I will tell you, Grant, reserve and JV ball, so no calls. I did return punts, and that is one of the most nerve-wracking things I think you could do, and I did get lit up a time or two. It's not fun.
It's not fun. I tell you what, I returned punts for maybe 1 or 2 games my freshman year of high school, but that was the end of that soon after.
So basically what we're saying is Lemberg's a braver man than both of us,
yes,
as the Vikings get close to a first down after that completion to Jack Reed.
Yeah, and just to touch really quickly on those punts. Again, those are really tough. You really almost just have to kind of suck it up and just kind of take the hit and really just focus on trying to hold on to that ball. I would have maybe taken the hit, but there was a few faster guys, probably a little more agile guys that were able to get back there and return the punts. So,
well, there's some agile defense by the Scouts there as they corral Dylan Johnson on the option. Still going to bring up 3rd and 1 after a no gain on that carry.
Yeah, Matthew Lewis and Riley Kirby getting in there. Anthony Tebby, as well in there.
They fake the handoff to Roth, and Dylan Johnson powers forward. That's going to be enough for another first down. Gain of 3.
And I tell you what, they were in the right position there. That was the right defensive call. You had Landon Sweeney was in there in the backfield, and another linebacker was there as well. And they, if Dylan Johnson isn't athletic enough to kind of get through there, that's a tackle in the backfield. So it was a good defensive call.
So this time they give it to Roth around the far corner. Roth bangs forward for about 2 more, and Vikings still sticking to the ground and pound game.
Yeah, 2nd and long here. Definitely, wouldn't be uncharacteristic for them to run again, but I wouldn't be surprised if sometime this drive we do see maybe a pass, if not just to surprise the David City Scouts defense, but also maybe to open up that run game a little more and say, hey, we might still pass.
So 2nd and 9, they have 2 wide on either side, and Dylan Johnson fakes the handoff again to Trent Ruff, and he has room to run. And he's going to be corralled, but after a first down, it looks like where they're going to mark him. Dylan Johnson, that is his 9th carry already on the evening.
Yeah, Ryan Worman there, the fullback. I think he'll get credit for that tackle amongst others.
Looking at that starting lineup, Dylan Johnson, Trey Sanks, Trent Roth, Jack Reed, all 4 of them have been involved in this offense, alongside Nick Dozal, and Austin Foltz, the leading receiver for this team. And the big boys, Trevor Schultz, Caleb Franzen, Derek Smith, Cole Tessendorf, and Connor Werdeman. 2 seniors and 3 juniors. The big boys, actually, Coach Ferg of David City said this line is a lot bigger than Lakeview has in the past, and they really are a difference maker. There's a completion to the far side, and there is Nicholas Dolzal.
And that is a fumble, and David City's going to fall on that one.
Big break then for the Scouts as the Vikings were marching down the field. Dolzal stripped on the play.
And I tell you what, that was a nice call, too. That little screen pass there to the left side, set up the replay action, just dumped it off and got downfield. Would have been a first down. But now David City Scouts a break and a chance to answer that first touchdown with 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
And sticking with how I spoke with the Coach Ferg, he said, we're going to have to force turnovers. It's not rocket science when you play football, but when you're playing a little bit better team. And on that second drive, his defense comes up big. There's a carry by Thuin for a short loss.
Yeah, that'll be huge for them. And just watching these 2 offenses, and I said it earlier, Lakeview is the slight favorite, and we've seen their offense. Statistically they're a favorite, but as we've seen, their offense does have the ability to move downfield. But David City by no means is, I don't want to say the underdog, because they're very well got the talent and players to compete in this game.
Scouts like that Maryland Eye offense. They just like to power and run right at you. There is Thuin again. Credit the Viking defense not giving up really anything up the middle.
Thuin again on the carry there, was tackled by number 50, Noah Duncan. So a situation that was similar to that first drive, a 3rd and long. A little bit longer this time than that first drive, 3rd and 13.
Noah Duncan Grant, the man you just called, on the D-line. He's the 2nd leading tackler. He has 54 between solo and assistant. So you got to love that when you have a defensive lineman posting those types of stats. As there's the bubble screen, does not work out for the Scouts, and Logan Detmer could not haul it in.
Yeah, it looked like a big hit there by number 86, Sean Donnelly. And really a great job just reading that on the outside. And, yeah, just to touch back on Noah Duncan, you absolutely have to be excited for Coach Friends. And if you got a guy on your D-line, in a perfect world, the D-lineman is going to be one of your leading tacklers because he's going to be in there breaking up plays and getting in the backfield anyways. And then, middle linebackers on paper should be our leading tackler. But, always got to be excited if you got a D-lineman that's making some big moves up front.
There is our guy in Lemberg who takes his 2nd punt. There's Laundry on the field. We'll wait and see what that call is.
Didn't catch that one. Not sure if what kind of call we're going to get. It looks like it's going to be against Lakeview. I didn't see what the call is, but they are marching this one off. About 10 yards, they're going to call block in the back on the Vikings. Harry's going to signal that right there. So still not terrible field position, starting off at the 44-yard line.
It makes you feel like, they went to the air once and they had success, although it was a fumble. We're probably going to see a lot more running by this Vikings team if they stick to Coach Frenzen's plan early on, and there's Trey Shanks. Shanks showing some nifty moves, still going, and tackled after a gain of 11, first down Vikings.
And you can't really get in the shoes of what they're seeing or the helmet of what they're seeing when they're down there. I think if he cuts that one, he did a double cut there. I think if he would have just cut that one back and went downfield, he probably could have picked up about 5-6 more yards. And that, although they did fumble, that pass very well timed, because you'll look at this, the Scouts' defense is much more spread out than they were that last series now that Lakeview has thrown the ball.
There is the end around. As Lemberg gets some yards there on the outside, they'll mark him out after, looks like a gain of 4.
So second and about 6 yards. Nice kind of little end around action there.
Just over 2 minutes to play in this opening quarter. This time they fake it to Lemberg. Dylan Johnson tripped up at the line. Good penetration by the Scouts defense.
Yeah, 57. Matt Lewis, guy I've called a couple times already, but getting in the backfield there and breaking that one up. Give him credit to Landon Sweeney as well, who is in that backfield.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. I talked to Coach Frenzen about this Scouts team. He says, no matter how good David City is, there's up years and down years, but for whatever reason, they always play Lakeview very, very strong. A series that since 2003, the Vikings lead 4-2, but no surprise here as the Scouts look like they're going to force a punting situation unless the Vikings decide to go for things.
And Lemberg went back to kind of palm that one, but I'm not so sure that maybe that wasn't intended for Austin Foltz, who was just a little bit farther downfield. They had the double crossing routes and then a little hitched route there on the right side, but Dylan Johnson feeling some pressure, unable to connect on that one.
Dylan Johnson, the quarterback, also the punter, as he stands on his own 45. And he does a high one. It's near the 10, takes a David City bounce, and the Vikings will down it near the 18.
Now going off what the Lakeview defense has done so far, this is going to be a tough position for David City. But the Scouts will look to get things going here. Thewin taking a, like I said before, he does take up a lot of those carries, and he has so far at the beginning of this game. But Dustin Papa, we'll see if he's able to get them rolling. Papa.
Well, there's that Maryland I formation. We're going to see a lot of Papa takes the snap. He hands it off to Ryan Worm, the first carry by a Scout player other than Thewin tonight. He gets a short one. Looks like they're going to give him a gain of 3 officially as we near the minute mark in this first quarter.
Very fast first quarter, as we've seen essentially all running plays, except for a short pass by Lakeview and a short corner route that failed by the Scouts earlier. But this Maryland they're going to need to get about 4 yards, 5 yards a pop on some of these if they're going to be successful, and that's going to be a false start penalty called there on Ryan Worm in the backfield, so they're going to march that one back. An unfortunate break for David City.
Ask Coach Ferg about his thoughts on this Lakeview team. He says, goes without saying they're well coached. Kurt Frenzen's in his 15th year, and he knows a thing or two about football. He says they have very good skill players. We talked about the big offensive line, but the other big thing he said is they're a lot better than their record indicates, something me and you both know. They're 3-4, but all those losses coming against very good and very ranked teams, I guess, in that top 10.
Well, yeah, and I think the most notable one to look at is that whole Wahoo, losing to Wahoo High School by 1 point.
Well, the Scouts go to the air here, and they get their first down. That's going to be a gain of 25 on the connection to Ross Kirby.
Yeah, great connection there to Kirby. And I like that route there on the outside. Just a touchback again. That Wahoo High School lost it by 1 point, and then Wahoo goes on to beat SCOTUS. And then Bishop Newman loses to SCOTUS, pretty heavy margin, and comes and beat Lakeview. So kind of a four-way, kind of a weird interconnection there, but really shows why they're so good. And you see Ross Kirby able to break one tackle, but just a nice little slant route there on the left side to get him open, and that's going to do the first quarter here.
It was a quick one. There was one score, and that was Dylan Johnson punching it in from 2 yards out. 7-0. Lakeview Vikings on top of David City after the first.
Welcome to Columbus Tire and Service in historic downtown Columbus. We as a team never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. We're authorized dealers for Goodyear, Hankook, and Falcon, but we can get you any vehicle tire you want. We offer full automotive repair by 4 qualified, experienced technicians. We are a qualified farm tire dealer, and we offer 24-hour on-the-farm tire service. Request service, shop for tires, or request a quote at columbustireandservice.com, or give us a call to set an appointment, 402-564-6229.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere.
And second quarter action, there is the first play. Dylan Johnson coming and making a big hit on Dustin Papa. Gain of 1.
A little quarterback on quarterback action there. Papa doing the right thing by keeping it there. Sean Donnelly played that pitch player there on that option pretty heavily. Papa able to cut it up, only getting 2 yards because of that Dylan Johnson hit.
Scouts ended the first quarter on a strong note, though, with that 27-yard completion to Ross Kirby to get him that first down. Brings up 2nd and 9 after Dylan Johnson's tackle. And there's the pitch to Thuin, and big tackle by the Lakeview Viking defense and Austin Foltz.
Yeah, Austin Foltz, coming in the backfield there, making a little bit of noise. Trenton Roth as well getting in there. But Austin Foltz,
bear hug.
Just the little bear hug tackle, and you see that every now and then, not too often. Usually it's one of those kind of defensive linemen, DN, going on the smaller running back, and Austin Foltz towering over on that one.
So what you would assume another passing situation, 3rd and 11 upcoming for David City. And Papa on the play action. He's in trouble. The Vikings, a second big defensive play in as many.
And man, a big hit there as a gang of defenders got in there. Noah Duncan amongst others getting in there for the big hit, and Trevor Schultz just was the guy that laid that big hit. He saw him kind of just come in full speed and smack Papa in the backfield there, and that's a good way to jack up a defensive player to come in with that big hit and really just kind of hype up that whole defense.
That brings up a punting situation, and it's blocked by the Vikings. Still takes a favorable bounce for David City, but that is good field position. They were on the 43 before the punt. Looks like the Vikings are going to get things on their own 49, so a net punt of about 9 yards after the block.
Yeah, Lakeview's offense has done a good job of moving the ball so far tonight. Had that fumble earlier that slowed them down a lot, but a big chance there, and just kind of getting a little bit of a hand on that one, but just enough to really put Lakeview into good field position.
That was something early on in the season. The Vikings would have either a good offensive game, a good defensive, or a good special teams, but never all three, and that's something that they've really worked on. And now 2 games out from the regular season, Coach Frenzen has his team putting together a great performance in all 3 facets, as there's a carry there by Trey Shanks.
Yeah, Ryan Worm on the tackle there, and I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier when Lakeview does, like we said, they are better than the record shows. They've played some very good teams, and I kind of mentioned that earlier. When Lakeview's able to get in rhythm both offensively and defensively, they're one of the better teams in the state, I think.
So they go right back to Shanks, who's going to get a first down and then some. There is a flag thrown back near the 45-yard line. We'll see what that's all about.
Yeah, thinking that's going to be against Lakeview is what it looks like. We do have a player down on the field. They're just going to come out. It looks like it might be.
It is Shanks.
He's holding his calf. So you're hoping maybe it's just a cramp, but that does not. He's not stretching it out, so that does not appear to be the situation. An unfortunate injury if this is a bad one for Lakeview.
Well, we'll try to see if we can spot exactly what happens here. As training staff does tend to Shanks.
And you kind of see him holding that ankle a little bit, and when he got brought down, it looks like he maybe got rolled on the ankle a little bit, but you wonder if that's not the case. He's kind of feeling that around there. They're moving the knee a little bit around too. You really just kind of hope this isn't a knee injury, not only so that he's not out of the football game, but knee injuries are really just a tough thing to nurse and rehab back to health, especially for a running back.
Shanks not only just a threat on the offensive end, where coming into this one he had 27 receiving, but his big 385 yards on the ground, and just a great compliment to Trent Roth. But he's also a huge force on the defensive end, where he's one of the top tacklers with 53 and leads the team with 4 sacks.
We're going to see him get up there, and he is going to be favoring. He's going to stay off that leg. Just an unfortunate injury here on senior night.
Kind of a cool story, too. Kurt Frenzen said he joined Lakeview last year as a junior. He transferred from California, actually. He's made the trip to the Midwest and has been a vital part of this Vikings team the past 2 seasons. And like you said, it goes without saying, hoping it's nothing too serious. And we'll kind of keep our eye on him on the sidelines and see how they treat him.
Yeah, Shanks, the guy, is really molded into this team well, too, not only as a weapon on this offense, but as a teammate. You see him. All these Lakeview guys get along really good. I was out here earlier as they were warming up, and everybody was just really loose, having a good time. So just an unfortunate injury to a good player.
So Jordan Jansen gets his first carry. Might be seeing more of him as Shanks is being tended to the rest of the evening. Gain of 2 on that one. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 9, 8:45 to go in this opening half.
Yeah, Jansen and Roth, guys that I think would be the immediate guys you would think are going to get a blend of the more of those carries.
High snap, quick throw by Dylan Johnson to the left side, and that's enough for a first down. That was a quick pass and catch. It looks like it's Nicholas Dolezal, the player on that quick slant.
And Dolezal, the guy who caught that last time as well, that resulted in a fumble, but runs the exact same play here, back to the left side, and Dolezal does a nice job running the quick little route. Dylan Johnson put that in really good position right in front of Dolezal. He was able to catch that, move forward, and get a first down.
So ball now on the 37. Dylan Johnson keeps it himself in trouble. Good defense by the Scouts, and breaking that one up is Landon Sweeney.
Yeah, Sweeney did a nice job getting in the backfield there. Also, Anthony Tebby did a good job getting in there as well, but Sweeney, a fast linebacker. He's not a huge kid, but he is an agile kid. You can see him back there, but nice job getting in the backfield and stopping that one before it could get started.
So brings up 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. There it is again to Jansen. He has room to power. He gets close to another first down. Looked like they're going to mark him just short, but the junior fullback showing that he has a little bit of burst as well.
Yeah, and kind of tripping over Austin Foltz there. He's doing a nice job downfield blocking. But you got to be excited if your friends and your backup running back's going to come in here and have a couple nice plays like this.
They go right back to him. He powers forward for a first down and then some. That's going to be a gain of 8 more. Tack it on.
Jordan Jansen, just the junior. But potentially starting running back next year as a senior. You're getting a little glimpse of him here.
Ball placed at the 21. This time play action to Jansen. Johnson's going to keep it. And tackled out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Close to another first down. The Vikings getting into a rhythm again.
And I don't think this one's going to be quite enough. And I think looks like they are going to maybe measure this one. Oh, David City taking a timeout.
It's probably a good thing for Coach Amp for the Vikings. They're really getting into that rhythm, marching right downfield, looking a lot like that opening drive of this contest, and threatening to make this a 2-possession ball game with 6:59 to go in this second quarter.
Yeah, David City just unfortunately for them unable to get anything really moving on offense. They are going to force some turnovers here like they did earlier with that fumble. They did a nice job of getting it out. When there you see Trey Shanks still being tended to. So you think maybe it's probably not an ideal situation. You're starting running back when your playmaker's on there. It doesn't look like he is in. It's hard to tell right now, but I would imagine if they're looking at him this intensely, we may not see him coming back in the game.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at the positives. He doesn't appear to be in agonizing pain. Another thing I'm looking at, don't know if it has any weight whatsoever, but shoulder pads are still on. Sometimes if they know they're going to be out, they just kind of get them out of their gear. So who's to say? I don't know.
There you see Kurt Prinzen was down there along the sidelines. And Jansen doing a good job, though, so far of filling in and kind of making up for that loss.
Well, after the timeout brings up 2nd and 1 for the Vikings. Ball on the 11. They pitch it to Roth. Roth breaks through. Roth, touchdown, Vikings. From 11 yards out, 13-0.
Just a little sweep action around the outside. Roth able to cut it up and get in for a big touchdown. Last time we were out here, Trent Roth had a heck of a game too, busting a couple 40-yard runs, and now doing it again on the ground with a big touchdown. Lakeview will kick away to put this one up by 2 scores.
That's Roth's 4th touchdown on the year on the ground. He also has 2 receiving touchdowns, so his 7th total as the extra point is high, but it's good. So 14-0 Vikings. 6:53 to go in this first half.
Really just a great job cutting up there off of that block by Jansen. And credit that downfield blocking by the big boys. Caleb Franzen, Cole Tessendorf, Connor Werdeman. All those big boys up there doing a great job of blocking. Trevor Schultz as well. The run game is not possible unless you have an active group up front. And tonight, Lakeview has exactly that. Now we will see number 23, Nicholas Dolezal, coming out to do the kicking duties. There you can see the back shoulder pad of Logan Detmer. Will be returning alongside Landon Sweeney as well on the opposite side.
here we go. Scouts trying to get on the board here. Ball fielded at the 5. There's Detmer with some room to run. He's still going. Another good return by Detmer as he gets near the 40.
I'm very impressed so far by this David City return team. Their returners and their blockers have done a great job of setting up their blocks, and then Detmer has just really found the hole, committed up the middle. They're running this middle return. A lot of returners like to take it, especially at the high school level, like to take it down the edge to the right or the left because it looks open in the immediate future, but then it closes off, and Detmer doing a good job.
Here go the Scouts on their 4th offensive possession of the night. They do the little pitch play, and not a lot of room for Thuin.
About a 2-yard gain there, I think. See how they mark this one off. But as we said before, this defensive line and core linebackers for Lakeview have done a good job tonight up front of closing off gaps. There you see those big boys on that defensive line right there.
And a 6-minute mark, so halfway through this second quarter, 2nd and 8 from the 41. Papa rolling out to his left. He's going to let it fly. Incomplete pass to his intended target in Detmer.
Actually, Ross Kirby back there, I think, on that ending. The tight end. But yeah, kind of a little dive there. Nice little route call. Was pretty covered up there on the outside, but unable to bring that one in as he was diving to the ground. Pretty close to the first down marker. That would have been a big play.
So, brings up a 3rd and 8 for the Scouts. Only had 1 first down conversion so far. Ball on their own 41. Maryland I. Again to go to the air. He has pressure. And there is the little jailbreak screen. A first down and then some. Ryan Worm getting into Lakeview territory. Tackled at the 40. That's a gain of 19.
And that was a great play call. Really nice job by that line to open that one up front, let the guys through, and sell that pass. Lakeview's been getting good pressure on the quarterback all night, so Ryan Worm just had a ton of room to run there up front, had a couple cuts before eventually being brought down. Dakota Prorock back there for Lakeview, and thank goodness because he had quite a bit of room to run.
So then the dive right up the middle. There's Thuin with room to run. The Scouts, the 10, the 5, touchdown. David City, 41 yards out for Thuin.
And Thuin is pumped up, and that is a huge run for David City to keep themselves in the game here. Now 14-6, just the dive play, the run play up the middle. They like to keep it tight, and they like to do what they do. And Thuin doing what he does as he busts that one down the field pretty long, and just right off the tackle there, kind of a play action. You see the quarterback running, but he got into open field, and Thuin a fast guy on that edge.
We saw him do it as there's a 2-point conversion attempt. It's picked off though by the Vikings, so it's going to remain at 6. Dakota Prorock there. Going back to Thuin though, we saw the Scouts play SCOTUS, and he reeled off like an 80-yarder and another about 40-yarder. It was late in the game against the Shamrocks, but still, he has that game-breaking ability, and we see it again right there.
Yeah, and there you see Prorock, who was able to intercept that ball there. So Lakeview up 14-6 still. Prorock kneeling that one outside of the end zone. Could have tried to make a run back to the other side and steal a couple points away, but decided that was best led up to the offense. Lakeview returning for the second time tonight. The man you guys would be very familiar with, Chase Limburg.
There you see Drew Shad, the fullback.
It's a low kick. Fielded near the 10. And another decent return brought down at the 35.
Not really much going there. It is a nice field position. Always good when you can get up to the 35-yard line. Closed off pretty quick once he got to that wall. But Lakeview will come out here and try to answer and increase this lead.
And there is the fake handoff. Johnson keeps it himself. Will get a gain of 3.
Pa doing a nice job spying the QB there back from that linebacker position and getting a hold of Johnson, who, as we've seen, is able to reel it off for about 10 or 15 yards if you give him the room.
Second and 8 from the 38. This time they give it to the fullback again. And Jansen pounds forward for about 4.
Sweeney again on the tackle. And another 4-yard gain, so still a very manageable third down situation as Lakeview creeps up on midfield.
Back to Jansen. Jansen on 3rd and 4. Gets enough. Jansen, the fullback. He's going to take this one all the way if he can keep the gas going, and does. How about that one, Grant? That is 62 yards for the fullback.
And I don't think you can ask for much better of a fill-in for Shanks, who is not in the game right now. And Jansen just coming in here and really doing a great job of managing at that running back position. We saw it that first drive. He was able to pop off a couple of them for about 10 to 12 apiece. And then a little bit of that game-breaking speed, as you call it, as he opens that one up for a big touchdown.
Well, that is one heck of an answer for the Lakeview fans and Coach Kurt Frenzen as the extra point is up and good. Thuin goes for 41, so Jansen naturally answers with a 61-yard dive right up the middle. Again, the fullback, Grant, showing some speed.
And a nice job by his blockers there, but he really just found the hole and went all the way downfield. You can see Thuin there trying to chase him down, and Thuin, a very fast guy, as you just saw in the previous drive, unable to catch up with Jansen. It was a good job, and Jansen, the fullback, kind of converted to running back, essentially, now that Shanks is out. And so far, doing a good job at the position. Jansen again, just a junior. Trent Roth, a senior. Trey Shanks, a senior. Dylan Johnson, a senior as well. So kind of getting to the back end of the season here. Two weeks left here in the regular season. If you're Coach Frenzen, you got to be excited that you got a player like Jordan Jansen who's showing a little promise here for the future.
So there is the kickoff. The Scouts now looking to answer back as the ball was fielded at the 20-yard line, taken out of bounds.
And Ryan Worm on that short return there, lined up in the kind of the fullback position there as far as the return goes. Does a nice job of holding on to that one, and one of your main running backs is probably a guy you don't mind having the ball there on the return. David City going to be searching for another big run from their playmaker. Playmaker is Papa and Thuin.
They're officially going to start things from their own 35. You see Worm and Thuin in the backfield. They pitch it to Thuin. Worm lead blocking. Good tackle by Jansen. He's not apparently too tired to not play some defense. Threw and almost broke one, though.
Yeah, Sean Donnelly there. You saw him creeping up there on the outside. Didn't get in on the tackle. But you saw Jansen when it came up underneath and did a nice job of filling on that left side.
So it was a gain of 3 for the Scouts. And the power I formation again as 2nd and 7. Papa, though, with the play action pass, hits Detmer on the little dump pass. He's tackled at the 41. Gain of 3.
And very similar, not quite the same as that screen they hit him with earlier. You could see Nicholas Dolezal was down there. He realized pretty quickly what they were doing, and he immediately turned back and ran to the middle looking for that. Eventually, he did get in on the tackle there on that right side. But Lakeview now, and you can see Trey Shanks there down on the sideline, able to move around a little bit. It does look like it's sore, but he's got it taped up, and we'll see if we get him back in the game. So far, they're not in huge need of it with Jansen doing a great job.
Definitely positive news, though, nonetheless, for the Vikings. We'll keep our eyes on Shanks's. 3rd and 4 upcoming. Papa, though, has room on the outside. First down, David City, as he's tackled near the 50.
You know, David City, from when we've seen them, when they've scored, it's been kind of on big play downs. Now, some offenses just function like that. For some reason, they're able to break a bunch of big plays throughout a game. But nice job by Papa. Excuse me, gotta get that.
There you go, gotta get that
right.
Italian accent into it. I don't know if he is Italian, but they tell me that's the way you pronounce it. I thought it was Papa too, but
Papa.
You got it.
I gotta work on that Italian. I need to learn Italian. That'd be a cool name for no reason at all, but to say his name properly.
Well, Papa gets the first down for his team. He's gonna throw it now, but he's in trouble. Spins out of an initial sack. He's still brought down for a loss of 1, but could have been worse.
Yeah, Trevor Schultz was the one coming off that left side there. It was kind of hard to see who was coming off the other side, but he was about to get double teamed there, and eventually Noah Duncan was able to get in on that tackle, but not a lot of room working 2nd and long.
Ball on the 49, a minute 25 to go in this first half. Papa rolling out to the right this time. He hits his receiver in Worm, who lowers his shoulder. And a gang of Vikings are going to finally bring him down. Grant, if you're watching National Geographic, it was like the gazelle where all the lions jump on it, but then the gazelle keeps going.
I've seen that.
Follow me?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen one of those videos. Yeah, I think. Are you talking about the video where the gazelle gets up and runs away too?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great video.
Because that's basically what he did.
He did. He ran back to the huddle this time. The gazelle was running for his life, but a nice job by staying up on his feet there. Lakeview, you can see him get knifed up there. Is big old 59 Zach Kovza smacking the chest before he gets down.
So that was a first down, 45 seconds and counting. Scout's going to have to keep sticking to the air and then just can bring that one in as Ross Kirby does stop the clock, though, with 43 seconds to go.
Kirby open there. You know he's going to be regretting not being able to hold on to that one. Kirby is athletic, able to get out there in the open field. Just unable to quite adjust to that one. Maybe one of those situations where you almost get too open. You know, you just think about it a little bit too much. But nonetheless, unable to bring it down.
So 2nd and 10 from the 36. You have 2 wide to the far side for the Scouts, 1 to the near side, and a flag is thrown. That's going to be false start.
Unfortunate penalty if you're on that Scouts offense. Making things a little bit more difficult, moving them back to about the 41.5-yard line.
This time the handoff to Thuin up the middle. That's going to be enough for 3. Clock was running, 37 seconds, and a timeout taken by the Vikings, actually.
And now he's gonna flip it around.
Oh,
now
he changed his mind.
He did call that one on the Vikings.
I was going to say, that's an interesting timeout by Frenzen, but who am I to judge?
Yeah, I wasn't going to judge either. You know, if they're calling the timeout, I like to assume it's probably for a good reason. Like he said, he's been doing it for 15 years now. As soon as he has his reasons. And so down a little cooler. Kind of starting to cool off, but still beautiful football weather. We've been pretty lucky this year. No early snow, so that's always a plus.
Now, fall is definitely here. Scouts, though, looking at the situation, 37 seconds. Hypothetically, say they get on the board. They're also getting the ball at halftime, so crucial situation. Maybe that's why Coach Ferg obviously knows what he has here, taking the timeout, although they are facing a 3rd and 15. No easy task.
Yeah, you know, if the time won't get them, the downs will if they're unable to convert here. So they have shown the ability to get open downfield. They just need to connect with each other on those downfield passes. But like we've seen before, they have the ability to break it for a big play.
Well, here we go. Papa with plenty of time, though. He gets pressure and just has to throw that one away. And you got to credit the big number 50, Noah Duncan, on that one.
Noah Duncan, a guy we've said a couple times tonight, does a good job getting a hand on the quarterback's arm as he was throwing it to kind of break that one up. Make it now a 4th down and very long and 15 yards, 30 seconds to go. Let's see if they go for this one here. They are in Lakeview territory, but they are going to punt this one away. And they do that rugby-style punt is what we saw earlier.
And just one man back for the Vikings to return in Lemberg. See Lakeview making sure it's not a fake. They didn't really send anybody. It's a high punt. Lemberg lets it hit. And is it going to roll? Let's see. Looks like good special teams play, though, by the Scouts as they down it right at the 1-yard line. That's how you draw it up, Grant. I guess, though, don't want to ruin that. There is a flag near the 40-yard line. We'll see what that is.
Yeah, curious to see what the call is. Lemberg, it looked like maybe thinking he was a little bit closer to the end zone than he actually was. That ball still had quite a ways to roll. Let's see what the call is here. It looked like they're going to call an illegal formation there.
Well, tough break for the Scouts after that perfectly executed punt and down at the 1-yard line. They're going to have to give it another go.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation. You almost set yourself up for a potential, safety if you're able to kind of get a stop there. And a safety would have been pretty big as they have 6 points on the board, so that would have chalked them up 2 touchdowns and they'd have a lead.
Well, 20 seconds left as the Scouts re-punt things. It's a low one. Worm gets it away. This time it will be fielded at the 10. And Lakeview with some room, tackled near the 37, though. Nice little bring back by Lemberg. 7 seconds on the clock.
And I think they are going to call a block in the back here. Just kind of glancing as I saw the ref throw the play there on that backside. It was the far ref. They are going to call a block in the back on Lakeview. I'm not sure who that was on. But a nice return by Lemberg, going to be moved back here. Only 7 seconds before half, so I'd imagine maybe they'll just kneel it here and let this one run out.
And you were correct. It's going to definitely march this one back. Within the 10-yard line, looks like they're spotting it right at the 8. And if I was a gambling man, I would agree with you, Grant. I think they're just going to either run one up the middle or down it here and go into halftime.
And they're not in a kneeling situation, so maybe they are just going to do a quick read play here.
And we're both wrong. Apparently they want to throw it. There's almost interception. 1 second to go. There's 0.3 on the clock, and Coach Frenzen trying to hit his big target in Fulton. Heads up play by the Scout defense.
This could be interesting. I'll be curious to see if this would be pretty wild if the Scouts are able to put on some points here before half. A big interception. They're going to change the balls out here, but Johnson just going to chuck this one over the middle and, like you said, try to hit Fultz. And the one-handed interception by Papa, the quarterback, showing he has a little bit of those hand skills. And now a timeout being called. You can see them heading back over to the sideline there by the Scouts.
While we have this quick timeout, it's a good time to remind our viewers the second quarter being brought to you by Bose West. Stop at Bose West after the game for the world's best, or at least Columbus's best burgers.
They're pretty good. They're hard to argue with. You got to get out there. You got to try them out there. You see the sign. You'll see it right there on the highway. Highway 30 driving through town. Very delicious. In a great environment, too. Just get outside. If you're visiting from out of town, maybe you're watching, got some kids, nephews playing. Next time you're in town, go check out Bose West. It's a very cool environment. And this is now like looks like 30 minutes on the clock. You can't see that, but
it's a long time out.
That's a long time out. There you can see the 30 minutes.
And they'll probably get that adjusted.
Technically, clockwise, we don't even have that much time left in the game with the two 12-minute quarters and the 0.3 seconds we have now.
That's good math right there.
That's a little bit of that high school math I avoided in college. Bring those algebra skills deep from the brain.
Is the one nice thing about being a broadcaster. I also like you got pre-cal or whatever out of the way in high school, and no more math for me. I just want to talk on TV.
You just sound like you know math. Try to do the simple stuff. They don't see me writing all the numbers around out here on the sheet of paper.
Well, here is the final play of the game, though, or half, excuse me, and good defense by the Vikings. That would have been interesting should David City capitalize, but no harm, no foul, Grant. So the math, if I do it correctly, 21 minus 6, that's 15. Lakeview Vikings
right
up 15
there.
points. Look at that.
That's hard math right there. That's reverse what I was doing. So very impressive, nonetheless. And it would have been interesting if they were able to convert there, or maybe pull off a safety or some type situation. Get a little closer, but definitely not out of this game by any means.
So we'll wait for Miss Urbanski to wrangle up Coach Ferg for David City, as we do want to get his thoughts on that opening half. He did have some positive things. Got a score, had an interception, forced a fumble. As you see the Scouts there gathering in the end zone.
Yeah, they did do some nice things. Like you said, down 15 points, so very manageable. A broken extra point attempt to a failed 2-point conversion is what led to that 6 points there early on. But Thewen, like we said, we saw him in the SCOTUS game. It was late in the game, but does have the ability to open up. We've seen him do a couple nice runs. They've had some nice play calling so far tonight. There you can see Thewen up. I was talking to some of the players and the Lakeview Marching Band. Keeping the fans entertained on this cool Friday evening. Columbus High, our friends over at Columbus High, are playing for the F&C Cup right now.
Yes, bad news if you're a Columbus High fan. Currently down 0-19 to Fremont. Coach Williams and company searching for win number 1 and have a little bit of an uphill climb.
Yeah, it's been a tough road so far for the Discoverers team. will be the first time if Fremont's able to pull this one out. This will be the first time they've had the FNC Cup in about 10 or 11 years. Columbus High's won that matchup for the past 10 or 11 years. Just before I was even playing at that level, so best of luck to them over there. Maybe they can turn things around. Also a manageable score, though, only 19. Not the end of the world.
And we don't give the band enough appreciation, but they're going hard right now at halftime for senior night. And what do you think, Grant? We have musical backgrounds, and I think this is pretty decent.
Hey, they're doing a good job. They don't have they don't have a ton of band members, and they make it work with what they got, but they're getting in there. They got all the instruments covered.
Don't stop believing. It's a classic.
It is a classic. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with it. Musical selection is half the battle, I think. And so far, they won that edge, and good, solid performance. Everybody's pretty much on point. There you get a look at the whole band, kind of tightening up in formation. There was the climax there, the big ending.
And the crowd, it goes wild, obviously. Why wouldn't they? Coach Ferg having a conference with his coaches away from his team right now. We're trying to wrangle him up is currently why we want to hear for what he has to say.
But still very much, like we said, very much in this game there. You can see some some pretty prime seating with the little fire there out on the porch. Just up on the hill. That makes sense.
I see what you're doing.
Some hill inception, I think is what that's called. But some prime seating for Friday nights. And I'm not sure if that's why they bought the house, but not a bad reason.
Well, Coach Ferg, if you snooze, you lose, and he's too busy for us right now, so we are going to just go to break. We might be able to catch him a little bit later. We're going to enjoy this band, and we'll see you shortly. 21-6 is the score, so we'll be back with halftime stats analysis right after this.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the marketing director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We really focus on the people that we serve. Relationships are the most important thing to us, and because we're smaller, we're flexible enough and we can make those quick decisions to meet your needs.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus. At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price, plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
And welcome back. The band's still going strong here at halftime of senior night at Lakeview High School. 21-6 is the score on this one.
The Viking Marching Band would like to thank our audience for their continued support.
Taking a look at some highlights from this opening half. It was an action-packed first half, to say the least. A lot of running, a little bit of passing, but it went quick. The Vikings were the ones who got on the board first. This one, though, Trent Roth, he did go down with an injury on this play. Not Trent Roth, excuse me, Trey Shanks. He hasn't returned to play. We're hoping he's all right. He's been warming up on the field, and we're monitoring that throughout this quarter. But the good news is somebody that did step up is Jordan Jansen, who found the end zone on a 62-yard touchdown run. There's a good pass completion to Dolezal. The Vikings, though, find themselves up 21-6. There is Jansen, showing how he has that little burst of speed. That was the initial carry, and then a little bit later on, he went for 60-plus. Let's see. And here's Trent Roth pounded in from 11 yards out. This was the final touchdown. Or no, the second touchdown of the Vikings. That put them up 14-6. David City, though, also showing that they could answer. Ryan Worm on a jailbreak screen, which would set up a big touchdown by Thuin. He would take it in from 41 yards out. Here's the second to last play at halftime. Is Papa, one hand intercepting, showing that he can do just about everything for this David City team. And the fans here, they got their blankets, they got their jackets, and had a good performance so far. And so we're going to go back to break, and we'll be back shortly here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com.
Central Community College, investing in you. Academic transfer, business, health, and technical courses all available at a fraction of the cost of a university. Small class.
In advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price. Plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices. Welcome to another Ernst halftime segment. I have Jason Seitz with me here from Ernst Toyota. Jason, let's talk about those great sales going on over at Ernst Toyota right now.
Absolutely. We've got a tire sale going on right now at Ernst Toyota. Right now, if you buy 3 tires at regular price, you'll get the 4th tire for $1. We feel like the best way to keep your Toyota is just coming down and seeing us, and we can make sure we match up the right tires for you.
What brands of tires can customers choose from?
We can do Continental, Dunlop, Bridgestone, and many more. Goodyear, Michelin, we've got about any brand you can think of. And so just come on down to the dealership. There is a few exclusions.
Can you tell me about some of the fine print with?
Absolutely. There's always that. So mounting, balancing would be additional. We'd also have, there's some shop supplies, some sales tax, of course, that you'd have to pay. And again, there is some model exclusions that are on there. So best way is just to come down and see us, and we can let you know what we got.
And your sales team, your group team over there just came back from training on the new Toyota Tacoma, correct?
They did. They just got back from the training. They had a real robust training on the all-new 2016 Tacoma. It's a great-looking truck. It's got a bold new grille on it, an all-new available V6 engine, 4.2-inch color information monitor inside it, and smart key feature and many other features. And there's like 5 different models you can choose from.
Do you guys have any in stock over at the lot?
We do. They're rolling in right now. They're a very popular truck, so I would invite our audience to come down and see one of our sales team members right away.
And obviously to find those, they're going to have to find Ernst Toyota, so where can they find Ernst Toyota at?
Well, Ernst Toyota is on East Highway 30 here in Columbus. Or you can visit us online at ernsttoyota.com. We've got our inventory online, and you can also take a virtual test drive of any of our vehicles.
Well, Jason, thanks for coming down, and I hope everybody's doing good out there at Ernst Toyota. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another halftime segment brought to you by Ernst Toyota.
It's now time for the Columbus Community Hospital Sports Injury 101 with Brandon Axelman and Dr. Dustin Volkmer.
And welcome to another halftime edition of Sports Injury 101, currently at halftime of live high school football action. With me, as always, is Columbus Community Hospital's Dr. Dustin Volkmer. Dr. Volkmer, as always, thank you for stopping in.
No, thanks again for having me. I appreciate it.
We're glad to have you. Today we're going to talk stingers. It's a term you hear quite often when it comes to sports, but medically, what is a stinger? Describe that, and what does that mean when somebody gets one?
So a stinger is an injury to the brachial plexus, which is a large bundle of nerves that exit your cervical spine or your neck and travel to the arm. The brachial plexus itself is kind of right in this region between the neck and the shoulder. So the injury, what we typically call a stinger, is a stretch of those nerves. Obviously, it happens very commonly in football, where tackling positions, the head gets shifted to the side, downward pressure on the shoulder, typically causes a stretch injury to those nerves. Symptoms that we see when a nerve gets stretched is immediate pain. A lot of times they'll describe lightning bolts or shooting pain down into the fingertips, and numbness we hear a lot about, where the whole arm goes numb or dead. And that's all a product of just a nerve being stretched.
All right, and so usually a stinger, it seems like it really stinks when you get one for the couple of seconds you have it, but it's a pretty quick recovery for the most part.
It varies with the severity of the injury. Some can be just a few seconds. Some can actually last several days. And everyone's a little bit different in terms of how severe it was, the position of the head and the shoulder at the time, and how much that nerve really gets stretched. So it's a very unpredictable recovery in terms of how long the symptoms will last. Sometimes it's a few seconds and the player can get back in the game pretty quickly. Sometimes it's several weeks where we're really monitoring them, making sure their pain gets better, their strength gets better in the shoulder before we can really get them back to full contact.
And you mentioned the stinger normally is when you get the hit between the neck and the shoulders, or you put the nerves or the pressure on the nerves. Is that sort of the same thing if you get like a Charlie horse or a dead leg, where you get hit in the knee and that kind of goes numb too?
Yeah, it's a little bit different in terms of this is more a traction injury on those nerves where they're kind of at risk up in the neck. A direct blow to the thigh where you get that Charlie horse or kind of the dead leg is more an injury to the muscle itself and a little bit to the underlying nerve. It's more just kind of that muscle gets real bruised and shuts down for a short period of time. Not so much the nerve injury in the leg. So this is an area that's kind of unique and it's very high risk, especially with football and other contact activities where it really puts a lot of tension on that nerve and causes the classic stinger symptoms.
We always like to ask, is there any way to prevent it? I feel like I already know the answer, though. Maybe just wear 2 or 3 pairs of shoulder pads, or what can you do?
Right. Well, they do have the cowboy collars, they call them, or the big collars that some of the players you see wear. It helps prevent some of the hyperextension or lateral, bending type mechanisms. So those do help somewhat. Again, just proper tackling technique, keeping your head up, knowing what you're hitting, as the coaches say. We're kind of not getting in that position where you're putting a lot of tension on that area. Are probably the best preventative strategies. And again, just football's a high risk, so some of them are just going to happen no matter what you do. But extra padding, the cowboy collars, proper tackling technique is really the best to kind of eliminate or at least reduce the incidence of these.
All right, Dr. Volkmer, well, as always, thank you for stopping in, teaching me a little bit about shoulders and stinger injuries.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And that wraps up this halftime edition of Sports Injury 101 with Columbus Community Hospital's Dr. Volkmer. We're going to be back to live high school football action shortly.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Home Real Estate is an all-star team of realtors who are ready to work for you. We work tirelessly to sell your home or find the right home to suit your needs. I am Home Real Estate's broker, Don Dreesen, and I have 40 years of experience. I know Columbus. Home Real Estate, serving Columbus and the surrounding areas.
A&J Guns is truly your tactical connection. From accessories like Magpul, Aimpoint, and Vortex to firearms, ammo, and suppressors, we can set you up with what you need. If we don't have it, we can get it. A&J Guns in downtown Columbus. Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the marketing director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Welcome to Columbus Tire and Service in historic downtown Columbus. We as a team never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. We're authorized dealers for Goodyear, Hankook, and Falcon, but we can get you any vehicle tire you want. We offer full automotive repair by 4 qualified, experienced technicians. We are a qualified farm tire dealer, and we offer 24-hour on-the-farm tire service. Request service, shop for tires, or request a quote at columbustireandservice.com, or give us a call to set an appointment, 402-564-6229.
Welcome back to Lakeview High School here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com. Glad you are with us for our 8th broadcast of this football season. Vikings up 21-6 on senior night as they kick to the David City Scouts.
David City's been able to get a few things going on offense there at the end of that first half, so we'll see if they can pick back up, make some adjustments, and get the ball moving again in the second half.
Short kick taken to the 32-yard line by the Scouts, which is where they'll start things.
Number 9, Dakota Prorock, there on the tackle. Looked like, Ryan Worm there on the return. Out of that fullback return position.
Trying to look on the Lakeview sidelines right now to see if I can spot Trey Shanks. Not sure.
He is in the game right now, actually.
Is he? Well,
right there at outside linebacker.
There
on the
we
right
go.
side there you see him. Trey Shanks back in the game.
Well, that is good news for the Vikings. And he looks like he may be showing blitz. There's a run up the middle. Good news, though, for Lakeview as the senior is back in and recovered from that minor ankle injury.
And you're hoping, if you're Frenzen at least, you're hoping he can hold that one up and keep that ankle stable throughout the game. Again, we're not sure what the actual injury was, so hard to say if he's, sore or what. But you saw him flying around there on that last play. So promising to say the least.
Gain of 4 on that last one by David City brings up 2nd and 6. Quick throw, looks like miscommunication between Papa and Detmer.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he was looking for Detmer on potentially either. I was thinking as soon as he let go of that ball, he's got slant. But Detmer was downfield, looked like he was going to block. But a lot of pressure there in the backfield pretty quickly, so that could have played in there as well.
3rd and 6 now for David City. They're desperately not wanting to do a 3 and out, so open things up. Shanks on the backside, showing pressure. And this time, Papa connects with Detmer. It's not going to be enough for a first down, but Grant, I think Shanks got tripped up, or Papa was going to have a big hit in his back.
Yeah, he was coming pretty hard off that edge, and for a second when he fell down, I was just hoping it wasn't because maybe his ankle or something gave out. He looked like he just kind of tripped up, and he is back up on his feet, so looks like he's gonna be all right. But the Scouts gonna have to punt this way, not quite enough for a first down.
And they're gonna keep it going for the fake to no avail. But Grant, there's a flag on the field, and just judging by the way the runner went, it may be a face mask and a big break for the Scouts.
Yeah, and Lakeview kind of got their heads down. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, either a face mask or maybe a horse collar. We'll see what. And yep, a face mask call it is. So a nice break. So no 3 and out. As you see it come around the outside there, and I think it might have been Austin Foltz. Now I kind of see, no, Austin Foltz was in there a little bit later.
51 it looks like.
Ah, okay, so yeah, Trevor Schultz there.
So big break for David City on that one. Worm on the keeper. And they get 15 yards out of what would have been a turnover on downs. See if that gives the Scouts some life here.
Yeah, now in Lakeview territory.
So they'll take things from the Lakeview 47. Quick drop back pass. We've seen that play before. Kirby caught it. Looks to be a little shaken up. Also a flag in the backfield.
Kirby is going to get up there. But they are going to call a personal foul. That's going to be roughing the passer against Lakeview. So another big break for, well, you know, it was a 9-yard pass, so not that they needed the break there, but nonetheless, they're going to gain 6 extra yards off of that one.
Kurt Frenzen on the sidelines, not happy. Obviously, 2 big 15-yarders back to back, and if you're giving team yards, it's never a good thing.
And uncharacteristic of what we've seen out of this Lakeview team. A couple of times that we've been able to get out here and watch them. Usually pretty disciplined as far as penalties go.
So now ball on the 42-yard line, or 32, excuse me, for David City. Handoff up the middle to Thuin. Thuin runs through a couple arm tackles, gets enough for a first down. That's a gain of 13 more.
Yeah, what was once a 3-and-out has now led to a red zone drive. As Thuin breaks inside of that 20-yard line there in the dive play. He just kept running there. They couldn't bring him down. He was doing a great job of staying on his feet. There was a couple times there where I just assumed he was going down. But David City in very much scoring position right now.
Ball on the 19, fresh set of downs. They go right up the middle. This time Worm gets maybe 1 on that play.
So a big stop there by Lakeview, only allows about a gain of a yard and a half, maybe about a yard. Let's see if they can do that about 2 or 3 more times.
So David City has twins to the left. Worm and Thuin in the backfield. The ball with a quick pass. And Kirby unable to bring that one in. It was a little high.
Nice job by Donnelly to get underneath him there. And we might have been able to bring that one down, but Donnelly got underneath his pads there, underneath his helmet almost immediately. So nice coverage by Donnelly to break on that one.
So now 3rd and 9 for the Scouts. 9:17 to go in this third quarter. Ball on the 18. Pulling Vandenberg in. See number 4 there in the backfield. They hand it off to Thuin up the middle. He's going to get about 6, but that's not enough for a first down.
A very big gain. I'll be curious to see what they do here. Only about, 4th and about 3 is what they're calling it on the board. Looks like about 2.5, maybe 2, but 4th and 3. Looks like they are going to come out and go for it.
3 yards to go, 4th down. Coach Ferg saying he wants to roll the dice. Down 15, and they just give it to Papa on a sneak. A flag comes in late. We'll see where they mark things here. Interesting, Grant. You don't see a sneak normally on more than a yard to go, and they had 3 they had to get.
And it's hard to tell kind of where they're placing them. It's like he got enough if this is against Lakeview. And this is going to be against Lakeview. They're going to move this one forward. Another face mask call.
A second one on 2 4th down occasions, and again, Coach Frenzen arms crossed on the sidelines as the Scouts' opening drive of this half continues. That's going to put the thing on the 5-yard line. Here we go. Papa rolling out and hit out of bounds. And Grant, I think that is going to be another one, a late hit now against the Vikings.
And if they are calling late hit, I think that's going to be on Lindbergh. Who it was hard to tell, but it looks like he was just coming in for the... I mean, it is along the sideline, but nonetheless, when you get a shot on the quarterback, you usually want to throw one at him as long as he's in bounds.
Blow to the head, they're saying, but the third personal foul on this drive for the Vikings.
Interesting call.
See if you can see it here.
Yeah, Lindbergh.
Oh.
I don't, that's... I can see maybe where... But the backside ref is the one that called that one, so I'm not sure I agree with that call. It looked like it was kind of shoulder-to-shoulder contact. You could see his head down a little bit, but I'm not sure that's the right call from that position.
Well, regardless, it puts the ball on the 1 as Papa powers forward. And we'll see if they don't give it to him. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 1.
So Noah Duncan was just pulling him backwards, making sure he didn't get across the line there. Papa gave a pretty big effort so far. Now just past 4 minutes on this drive, which has really been handed to David City by Lakeview.
And Papa hands it off up the middle. And they stop him again, Grant. That carry was by Landon Sweeney, who couldn't punch it in. 3rd and 1 now.
And I was just trying to see the number there. Zach Kovza getting there in the backfield on the initial hit. There was a couple of those guys in there. Noah Duncan and Jansen as well getting in there. So a group of those guys getting credit for that tackle, but it looked like Kovza was the guy who kind of made the initial hit.
And you could hear the yells from the field. The Vikings, when you stop them twice, you get more pumped up. You have momentum, and now a crucial 3rd and 1 to go. And that same Maryland I formation. And Papa keeps it on the play action, and they get in there. Touchdown, David City. Logan Detmer catching that one.
Yeah, great call by Amp Ferg to open that one up. Lakeview was definitely expecting a run because that's what David City does, and we got a David City lineman that looks like down on the field, and it looks kind of hard to see his number from his shoulder, but it looks like Riley Kirby is down. Riley Kirby, just a sophomore, and yep, and that does look like it is indeed Riley Kirby. We'll take a look at this touchdown again, just popping over the top to Logan Detmer, who was wide open. Detmer did a good job kind of just holding on that one in to make sure he completely had that one. But now you can see the player's down on the knee, and we talk about this before. You can kind of judge what the injury or the intensity or level of the injury by how the players on the field react. And usually when everybody takes a knee, it's not very good, but we are going to see him get helped off there, so you wonder if maybe a knee injury of some sorts, or that is, but he is walking on both feet, so maybe he just got the bell rung a little bit. But hope he starts feeling better there. Hope that is nothing too serious. Now down by 9 points. And I was going to say they were down by 9 points. So I was curious if maybe they were going to go for 2 there to try to make up for that extra point that they lost on that first touchdown. But now Lakeview up by 8, 21-13. And a 5-minute drive. That knocked off quite a bit of time to start the second half. Now only but exactly 7 minutes remaining. And it does appear that Riley Kirby's going to be all right as they Got him out for the side there, and he is no longer being attended to by the trainers from the Lakeview side. So we hope that is a good sign. And we do see him actually out on the field right now. Going to be covering kickoff here, Riley Kirby, so definite sign that he's all right. Lindbergh back to return.
He's going to pick it up near the 10-yard line. Dangerous situation as he's not going to get a gain of much. The Scouts push him out of bounds.
Now, nice coverage there by David City, and that's one of those things you got to be careful about, especially if you're on that kickoff return. You know, a lot of people forget, myself included sometimes, that that's a live ball going back there. So when that's sitting on the ground, you know, it's not like a punt. You got to pick that bad boy up and you got to get moving.
Well, Lakeview trying to answer that big drive by the Scouts, mainly accounted for by penalties. Jansen gets a short carry there for, looks like 5.
Yep, and just a nice little dive play up that middle. It's been very successful for them so far tonight.
They go right back to Jansen. He finds room up the middle, lowers his shoulder, gets a first down, and then some, gain of 16.
You got to wonder if, because Jansen is doing so well offensively, if they're going to keep Trey Shanks out off of that side of the ball.
So first down, ball on the 33. Trent Roth now tries to get outside. And he's going to get close to another first down. They're going to mark him right at the 46.
And a nice cut upfield by Roth, who is going to be just right at about that first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him here. It's pretty darn close, and they're going to give it to him. Trent Roth had a nice cut up there on that close side of the field here. And Lakeview offense definitely not coming out flat here as they're moving the ball pretty effectively to start off this drive. And you can see Shanks is back in the game as he takes that handoff.
There he goes. He seems to be all right, Grant, as he goes, still going actually. And it looks like his helmet may have been caught on a shoulder pad, but I think that answers your question if he's okay or not. There's 13 hard-earned yards.
And I'm not sure, kind of hard to see. I'm not sure if he was completely down there, but he wasn't moving much further. And you got to imagine if your helmet is stuck to somebody's shoulder pads, it makes it quite a bit more difficult to move downfield.
Well, he's still staying in there as well, so. Good sign as the handoff goes to Trent Roth now. He has room on the outside edge. And he's taken down right at the 30.
Shanks doing a good job downfield, setting up a block for Roth. And quite a bit of time ticking off here as Lakeview just steamrolls downfield. Roth coming around that right side. There you see Shanks blocking, as well as Jack Reeg doing a nice job opening that up.
Johnson keeps it himself this time. He's going to find some room. Nifty cut Johnson. They going to give it to him? No. Touchdown. They got to give it to him. He wants it. He's tackled at the 1. It was interesting, Grant. We might have to see a replay because it looked like he got tackled, but he was still sitting on the defender, which should have rolled him in for the TD.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing.
He wanted it too.
He was pretty excited. I thought he had rolled in. But he's going to keep this one.
And he gets it anyway, so that's fair. At least he gets the 6 points. Took him an extra carry to do it, but he's fired up nonetheless.
So Shanks, you hear the police sirens going there in the distance, and Trey Shanks' dad, actually, from the sheriff's department, whipping off those sirens.
So there's a good answer for the offensive end for the Vikings as the extra point is up and good. 28-13 lead, back to 15.
So just 2 minutes knocked off that on that drive. To be exact, 1 minute and 58 seconds. But if you're Lakeview, that's a good sign. Your offense really did a great job of moving downfield there. Dylan Johnson just kind of whips around, and there you can see Logan Detmer, and his butt it looks like Dylan Johnson's butt did touch down before he got over the plane. Definitely a judgment call by that ref, a tough one, but it looks like he was down. That's probably the call I would have made as well. Logan Detmer, like I said, was on that touchdown saving tackle, but no avail as Lakeview moved in shortly after with a sneak by Dylan Johnson. Now coming out to kick will be number 23, Nicholas Dolezal. Back to Detmer and Sweeney for the Scouts. So far tonight, David City has done a nice job on returns. Detmer leading that. And that's just going to be a little pooch kick here to avoid that situation.
Ball pops out, and Scouts fall back on it safely down at the 33.
That's kind of the situation they're trying to avoid, breaking that big one, as we saw a couple of those chip shots to Worm earlier, and now an even shorter one. There you see Worm and the Scouts and a few in line up there in that halfback position.
Handoff right up the middle for the Scouts. Short gain.
That Lakeview defense had a chance to go 3 and out last time. They will try to amend that mistake this time.
So no gain, 2nd and 10.
So in that I formation again, Deuce is out there on the right side, Detmer in.
There is Sweeney pounding forward for a gain of maybe 2 more, bringing up 3rd and long.
So last time they went for it on that 4th down. Granted, it was a little bit shorter. It looks like Sweeney might be battling a quick cramp here, as you can see him pulling that toe back. And it is going to be a cramp situation. See him working out that calf, so cramps never fun. The muscle cramps is the one I'm talking about, is what you're going to see here in the football game. But Sweeney's going to jog off the field there and get a little Gatorade in him, I'm sure. Colin Vanderberg coming in there to fill Sweeney's position.
So 3rd and 7 upcoming. And low snap, whistle is blown prior. Looks like it was a David City timeout, so dodging a little bit of a bullet there.
And another very quick quarter. As we've seen, we have not seen, at least, very many pass plays. A few screen plays by Lakeview, and then a few down yard chucks by
by this Scouts team, but nonetheless keeping this clock moving. Another 3rd and long situation for the Scouts team, 3rd and 7, as you said. Hoping to pull together a first down and another potential second successful drive, and Lakeview trying to remedy that last mistake where they had, 4 or 5, well, 4 I think, personal or intentional. Giving up 15 yards a pop, and that's something you can't do defensively.
We'll see if they have better luck this time. The Scouts cannot convert on that screen play. You have to probably think, Grant, I guess you don't know, but 4th and 7 in their own territory, they're going to punt.
Yeah, I would think so. You got a whole nother quarter to work with. Granted, the clock's been moving pretty fast, but it's a tall order, and Detmer said that the long snap was the intended target on that screen play, but it looks like they will come out and punt here.
Back receives the Vikings, number 19, Jason Lundberg.
So Lenberg is back to return. It's a low punt, but it has some power. Lenberg takes it right at the 30. Ball pops out. Looks like Lemberg, though, luckily for the Vikings, got it back.
That would have been a big break for David City to move into Lakeview territory, but now Lakeview will come onto the field, and last time was very successful moving downfield. Will attempt to improve on this lead again, put this game a little more out of reach. Trey Shanks still in the game at running back.
Johnson on the keeper. Just goes straight forward on that one, gets 12.
As you saw there from that back view, just a giant hole for Johnson to run through downfield. As he pretty much just sprinted straight forward for that first down.
Ball on the 49-yard line of the Scouts.
Nearing the 3-minute mark here in the third. Vikings very much in control right now. Love nothing more than to add to their 15-point advantage. Johnson takes to the air. We haven't seen a lot of it tonight, and there's Fultz right up the seam. Fultz for the touchdown. 49 yards. Lakeview strikes just like that.
And that was about the exact same play we saw him try to run earlier that got picked off when they had about 7 seconds left in the first half. But that time, Austin Fultz runs downfield uncovered. Dylan Johnson, as we talked about before, does have the arm, and he's able to connect with Fultz, who is just wide open. And he sprints in for 6 points. Fultz having to kind of be the big receiving target this year after the injury earlier this summer to Quinn Madison, the knee injury, who took him out. He is a senior as well, and we'll see him potentially here in basketball season. He's able to kind of rehab and get back at things, but Fultz has done a nice job this season of taking over.
Fultz, the leading receiver, with 237 yards. That's his second touchdown on the season. And yeah, Grant, if you're the Scouts defense, you cannot allow that 6'1" target just to run free right up the seam like that, or it's going to bite you.
Yeah, a big guy to let go down the middle unattended. They can show you they do have the ability to open things up in the air, and they've been running it so much, and they just did the exact same thing that David City did. And it was a little bit shorter. David City was from about the 3-yard line, but continually running, and then just opening it up for one pass. And as long as you're able to connect, there's a good chance it's going to be pretty wide open. So Detmer and Sweeney again back to return. short pooch kick again.
And again fielded, this time about the 38, so good field position for the Scouts.
Yeah, and that's Anthony Tebby who's going to fall on that one.
First and 10, Scouts from their own 40-yard line. Maybe both.
So first and 10 from the 39 for the Scouts. Nothing doing up the middle for David City on that one.
Gain of 1 brings up second down and 9 for the Scouts from their own 41-yard line.
Second and 9. Rolling out is Papa. It's his receiver in Worm, close to a first down. That's a gain of 12.
Tackled by number 20, Trey Shanks.
Trey Shanks on that tackle there, so it's going to be 3rd and short.
It's a 3rd and 1 on the 39, a minute 45 in this third. Papa hands it off to Worm up the middle. Don't think he has enough on that one, Grant. Gain of 0.
So back in their own territory, it's going to be 4th and short. Very short. It's going to be under a yard here.
4th down and 1 for the Scouts from their own 49-yard line.
A minute 10 and counting in the third. Another 4th down situation for the Scouts as they try to answer that Fultz touchdown connection from Johnson. Papa keeps it himself. He's in trouble, and the Viking defense responds. Shanks in there among Jansen and others, about 5 of them. Force the turnover on downs, and that is a big play for Lakeview. Looks like there is a flag, though, so could it be the 3rd time in a row on 4th down? The Vikings give him a first down. Nope, this time against the Scouts.
So Vikings going to have pretty decent field position. As we've seen, they've been able to move across field with their offense. And with just 50 seconds left in this third quarter, we'll see if they can put some more points on the board here.
And a little miscommunication between the Vikings and David City gets it right back. Recovering that one is Matt Eilers. And that is a big play for the Scouts.
As you said earlier, turnovers are key for David City to pull this one out, as Coach Ampberg talked about. And Lakeview has had some trouble holding on to the ball tonight. And the defense will come out here. David City with a fresh chance to try and get back into the end zone. 35-13 with 46.2 seconds left in the quarter.
So they go up the middle for a short gain.
Ball carried by number 5, Brandon Newen. Tackled by number 50, Noah Duncan.
So 15 seconds. We may get one more play in this third quarter. 2nd and 7. Dropping back, and nice pass and catch as Detmer reels that one in. That's going to be a gain of 7 and close to a first down. Looks like they will give it to him with half a second left in the third.
First down, Scout.
There's still another quarter left.
And that will wrap things up for this third quarter, 35-13. Lakeview leading David City here on ColumbusNewsTeam.com after 3.
In Columbus, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Annette Alt for your insurance and financial needs.
At Columbus Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price, plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus. At Columbus.
Welcome back to Lakeview High School. Fourth quarter action coming at you right now. And a big play by the Vikings tackling the Scouts on that one. Yeah, Dozal getting in for a big play on Sweeney. As Scouts try to get back into this one, 35-13 is the score.
You see Dolezal's had a nice few catches tonight, done a nice job defensively as well. But Lakeview, as we said, just has had a little bit of trouble holding on to the ball tonight. And David City is trying to capitalize.
Papa rolling and has an open receiver. Nice catch if they give it to him. Ross Kirby. That was just kind of interesting, Greg. He was wide open and threw the ball way up in the air, but still was able to come down before the Vikings could close in.
And a pretty similar play we saw earlier in the game that Kirby wasn't able to bring that one in. And 11-11 on the clock. Make-A-Wish, all of you at home, Make-A-Wish 11-11. Not the actual clock, but on the game clock it was 11-11.
Grant, they should wish for a Bo's West Burger.
They should
because they're our third quarter sponsor.
They should.
I'm wishing for one right now.
I'm wishing for one too. Actually, I'm very hungry. I could use one of those up here.
10:55 to go though, as I am now very hungry. Another pass completion though for the Scouts. This time going to Logan Detmer.
Yeah, and airing it out a little bit. A nice little change of pace for the Scouts, who are getting some movement, not finding much success. A little bit there, you see our third quarter.
You shall receive.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Bo's Bar and Grill out there on Highway 30 east side of Columbus. But David City finding some success here in the air. You know, they had a little bit of success. Theon was able to break free a little bit on the run, but, you know, for the most part, they just couldn't move the ball. But right now the pass is working.
High formation again for the Scouts. Papa again rolling out. He has a lot of pressure, and there's Fultz wrapping him up for a big sack.
And Fultz was speeding there in the backfield, showing he's got a little bit of that agility, the wide receiver. Coming into the backfield, also a defensive lineman. An odd combination, a combination I played in high school, so I'm in favor of that little D in wide receiver action, but Fultz doing a nice job on that backside.
Yeah, you had a 2nd and 1. Fultz with the big play. Now you're 3rd and 11. So loss of 10 and a big hole for David City.
And back in shotgun again. Wouldn't be surprised if they, 3rd and long. They've had success in the air this drive. See if they air it out again.
Looking like he will. Another big pressure. Is that Fultz again, Grant? Back-to-back sacks for the senior.
And Fultz getting hyped up, coming into that backfield like a speed demon as he kind of got a little bit of the ankle tackle there, but nonetheless still effective. And Fultz, like you said, the senior stepping up there and making a big play on senior night. Noah Duncan was kind of eyeing him down, but Fultz just kind of sped through and wrapped him up, and Papa didn't have anywhere to go.
As replays you see there brought to you by Bill's Tire Outlet. Shop there today and get up to a $70 rebate on select Continental tires. As here is the punt and fair caught at the 10-yard line. Someone maybe told Fultz that he would get a Bill's Tire deal if he got 2 sacks in a row. Am I wrong?
I don't know. I'm not sure what kind of car or truck Fultz drives, but those guys over at Bill's Tire, you might have to hook him up. Someone told him he got that promo, so that or someone put in the NCAA cheat codes, or I should say the NSAA cheat codes, gave him that speed boost to get him into the backfield there, and some pretty impressive sacks though, nonetheless.
And whatever the motivation was, Coach Kurt Frenton and company got to be pleased. We'll see now. They go back to him on the offensive end. This time they give it to Shanks, who's still going. Shanks does a great job after just getting hit initially to just keep those legs churning.
And for a kid who, is suffering some kind of ankle injury early on in the game, has really just been doing a great job of running after contact, keeping his feet moving, and looks like whatever happened, he shrugged it off.
And not a big gain on that one as the carry goes to Roth, maybe 2. Roth, really has been corralled for the most part for being the great player that he is. Credit the Scouts' defense on that.
Yeah, Roth, a guy who produces quite a bit, and you've seen it tonight. He gets quite a bit of carries. They like to work him on those. He's essentially, Jansen's listed as a fullback, Roth listed as a running back, but Roth kind of sits. He's lined in the I-back position there, but sits a lot of times in that kind of pistol fullback position.
So Roth did get him the first down on that last carry. Then he gets him another one there. Gain of 14 as he's tackled near the 40.
And it always seems to be, as we're talking about somebody not breaking a big play, and then all of a sudden they bust a big one.
We make them mad.
They listen. They must have some little earpiece going on in the helmet. I'm not sure if they brought that technology to the high school level yet, but evidently Roth's got it. But a nice run by Roth there.
So ball now at the 38 for the Vikings. 7.5 to play in this one. Lakeview very much in control. Johnson with the pump fake, going for it. Oh, and he hits his receiver, and the ball pops out. I thought he had it. And that was Isaac Dryfurst, just a sophomore getting in there, showing a good job to adjust, just couldn't haul it in all the way.
Yeah, he did a great job of going up there and making a play on the ball, and you can see just the young sophomore number 8 there was just, it looked like it popped out when he hit the ground. He did fall pretty hard when he came down there, but credit the young sophomore for getting up there and trying to make a play.
And the line giving Johnson plenty of time back there on that one. We'll see if they go to the air again on 2nd and 10. Ball drops and it's kicked. And there's a scramble for it. Jansen dove for it. We'll see. Looks like it's going to stay with the Vikings.
Yeah, Jansen did pick that one up, and just again, ball control, ball security, and you're going to see number 57 was going off field there, but that was just a hit off. Johnson dropped it a little bit. Jansen hit it with a knee, so just kind of bobbling that one off the snap.
3rd and 10 on this one. Johnson rolling out. He's going to keep it. Good tackle in the open field, but I don't think it was before he got another first down.
And Thiemann there on that tackle. And like I said before, you saw 57 Matt Lewis ran off the field there. Not sure, he might have been limping a little bit, so hopefully he's okay.
There is the jet sweep this time to Lemberg. the punt return specialist, showing he can also run the ball. 17-yard gain as he gets into Scout territory.
And Lindbergh's got that speed there out on that outside. Listed as a wide receiver, he doesn't really get that many catches on the outside, but he's got the feet to move. And a nice little move there on Kirby before eventually getting knocked out of bounds. Big run by Lindbergh.
Ball on the 32. And that time the Scouts defense had that plan. Lindbergh again with the carry, but Papa says, no.
Papa got in there, a big hit by him to get him right there in the backfield. It looked like they might have been the exact same play they just ran, just the opposite way. And you could see him going in motion, and then as soon as he hiked it, Papa got through the backfield and made the big tackle.
That was a loss of 7 after Papa blew that one up. So 2nd and 17. There is the sophomore again in drive first. Gets back to close to the original line of scrimmage. Longtree on the field.
So we're going to see her. Nice little pitch and catch there for about 7 yards. Makes this, depending on what that, and it's going to be a holding against Lakeview. So they're going to march this one back. That was a nice little play, but they'll replay the 2nd down then. So essentially a loss of about 3 yards there. Well, loss of about 5. They're going to call that 2nd and 20.
So 5.5 to play here. 2nd and very long. Johnson's going to keep this one. He's in the open field where he is very dangerous and nearly actually does get all 20 back and then some.
And Johnson, a playmaker on his feet and with his arm. We saw him connect on the big pass earlier, and you've been seeing him run all over the place tonight, which just makes him so much more of a threat. Rocking that number 7. Number you quite often see for some reason on those running quarterbacks like that, number 7. I don't know why that is.
Well, Jansen goes up the middle for close to 7. Looks like maybe 9 officially, as he's having a great night in his sort of relief role and providing a little bit of cover for Shanks.
Yeah, he's really stepped up. The junior's done a great job so far of running downhill, and you've really seen a lot of burst out of him. Like you said, he's listed as the fullback. You see him line up at the fullback position there, but he's been playing pretty much the halfback position tonight.
Now he's lead blocking. And there is the punt return specialist in Lindbergh for the touchdown.
You gotta love the little dive over the top as he's able to put that one in, and a very big touchdown for Lakeview, who's now going to go up 41-13 with only 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining in this game. You think at least there's a pretty good chance Lakeview's going to be taking this one home tonight, but they've played pretty good on both sides of the ball, besides the fact that they've given up quite a few fumbles. They just have not done a good job of holding on to it.
42-13, the Vikings grabbing a great result on senior night as they are in control with 4:41 to go.
David City finding a little success through the air last time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start airing it out again. But back to Lindbergh, and that big lead block by Jansen there, who opens it up just enough for Lindbergh to do the rolling dive, or what most people call a flip over top into the end zone for 6.
That diving replay of Lindbergh brought to you by Bill's Tire in Columbus. Whether you need lawnmowers, tires, or combine tires, we've talked about this before, Grant. Yeah. They have them all.
Combine tires for the car, which I still need to do, but
it's harvest season.
It's harvest season, and you cannot be too careful. Yeah, I tell you got to be careful during harvest season. It's pretty dry. I've had a couple fires so far, especially around the northeast Nebraska area, so tough situation there, but Combine Tires, nonetheless, Bill's Tires, go check them out. Great guys down there. I think Lindbergh's trying to get one promos too. I'm not sure if they're issuing an offensive promo, but Lindbergh's working on that one.
Well, Lindbergh on senior night, though. Grabbing his touchdown as well as a senior. Again, a great performance all in all for this Vikings team. It's really, you can't ask for much else as a fan or a coach. And the seniors, they're going to have this memory for the rest of their lives. I remember my senior night, just like it was yesterday,
Just like yesterday. It's been a while ago since senior night. I don't know if I remember. I had two senior nights though. I had the Wayne State senior night as far as football goes. So that one's more immediate in my memory, I suppose. And basketball senior night, I was sick. I got strep throat.
What the heck?
So no good there. Don't remember. I remember that one. I was sitting on the couch watching cartoons.
Nobles kicks return by number 5, Brandon Thewin.
Nonetheless, Brandon Thewin there on the return. Try a little kick. Thewin able to get up to about the 38-yard line.
And just look at how this one shakes out. Lakeview should win this one. So David City will advance to 2-5. They have a final game of the season against Bishop Newman, currently number 8. A very good team. They're currently leading Wahoo. It just speaks to the strength of this district. You have Wahoo currently number 3, SCOTUS number 5, Bishop Newman number 8 as Thewin gets the ball on the outside here. Pounds forward for 8 yards, but Class C1 football in general is very, very strong in District 4 here in the Columbus area. A lot of good teams.
We've been just trying to solve that puzzle of this district play so far. Just kind of highlighting again, SCOTUS beats Newman 44-0. Lakeview loses to Wahoo by 1 in the game. They could have won, missed a field goal earlier in the game. Then SCOTUS loses to Wahoo by 3. Lakeview loses to Newman. Newman plays pretty good. Wins by about 19 or so. And then now Newman's beating up on Wahoo, so you got to wonder if, our guess is maybe SCOTUS just played unreally good against Bishop Newman and then played very poor against Wahoo, but so far that's about the only answer we can dig to that problem. But nonetheless, Lakeview and SCOTUS matching off this next week. It's going to be a fun one to cover.
It's going to be a must-win for the Vikings, no doubt about it. Currently, Lakeview sits at 23rd in power points, the way Class C1 shakes out in the NSAA playoffs. As you do see a run to the outside by Sweeney there. They basically take the top 8 teams that win the district, and they're automatically in. And once you have the district winners, you take the next top 8 that are in order by those power points for a total of 16. And talking to Coach Kurt Frenzen and Howells, he described it. They have to win both, but also, depending on how the power points shake out, you're going to need some teams to lose to lower their strength of schedule and make Lakeview's higher. It's a very specific science, but currently they're sitting at 23rd with 38.57. And, you never know. You never want to say never, but the last week of high school football can get pretty crazy because every game matters, even the games where two poor teams are playing against one another. As Thewin, we saw him reel one off against the SCOTUS Shamrocks at this time. He does it again, 40 yards out. And the game breaker puts his team closer to within 19 points now to 42.
Yeah, just that sweeper on the right side. We'll get back to the PowerPoint. So we kind of wrapped up there about the PowerPoints, and just really going to be an interesting last week of football as it always is, and Lakeview's going to need quite a few things to go their way for them to get into the playoffs. But Thewin there, as you said, we saw him do it at about exactly this time against SCOTUS. Last time we got to watch him, and he's got the ability to open that one up, and the kick is no good, so it's going to remain 42-19. 3 minutes and 23 seconds. You got to imagine Lakeview's going to keep this one on the ground, try and run this clock out.
Now Viking got a hand on that one. So, looks like Vikings are going to advance to 5-2 in the series since 2003. Vikings won back in 2003, 42-12. Didn't play each other for 6 more years. Then David City rallied off 2 wins in 2010 and 11. And then ever since, the Vikings have won 3, and it will now be 4 in a row from 2012 up through this year. The band's getting wild, though, Grant. Jump around. They're doing their own Wisconsin version of it in the student section here.
Hey, I love it. You
almost the same scale.
Almost the same. I would say, if not maybe a little bit bigger, but
I can feel it in the press box.
I can feel it. That might be me just shaking and dancing around too, but you gotta love when the band gets into it. There's a little better view. You see the percussion section shaking it up front with the quints, or the quads, excuse me. But they're getting into it.
You got the band instructor right there in the blue sweater. He's doing some robot-ish action, too. He's the ringleader.
The ringleader's
we need to find out who he is.
The instigator is getting them going.
Oh, I guess we'll get back to football now. That was a lot of fun, but
sometimes you gotta stick to what we came here for, I suppose. And a fumble there.
Yeah, muff kickoff. Vikings do recover, though, and on a broken play, Grant, that gets a little bit more. Across the 40-yard line, believe that was Drew Shadd on the return.
That was Drew Shadd indeed, and it's another situation. For some reason, Lakeview just all around just had a little bit of trouble holding on to that pigskin tonight, but nonetheless, Shadd getting downfield, just the junior, and making something out of nothing. It's crazy. Sometimes those broken plays turn out to be the biggest ones because everything gets out of funk as far as both teams, the opposing team as well. As you can see there, Shadd able to roll off about a 15-yarder or so, but able to get up to that up to 43, 44.
And there's that fumble again. Oh, look at the Vikings. Will keep it, though.
And Drew Shadd in at the quarterback position for Dylan Johnson.
Second down and 10 for the Vikings. Maryland 44-yard line.
Under 3 minutes now, 2:45 as Shadd's going to command this offense the rest of the way. High snap. Shadd's going to keep it. And power forward for 2 before he's pushed back by the scouts.
Yeah, more or less just seems like maybe it's just a little trouble connecting between the center and Shadd there on that first play as well. That can happen. You don't play for a whole game, then you have to go in and start snapping with your quarterback and being in a rhythm and stuff like that. Sometimes can be a little difficult.
So 3rd and 8. Shadd again keeps it. He has some room to run and some lead blocker. Shadd gets across the 50 tackle near the 37.
And that's a big run for them to get across field there. They're going to reset these, keep the clock running for Lakeview. He really is not in danger of losing this one up by as much as they are, but nonetheless, to close this one out, getting the first down is big.
And handoff up the middle as Shadd carries out the play fake. Gain of 4.
Closer and closer to that minute mark. There's a little 11 Lane Egger and
Oh, 2nd and 5. We're now at the minute mark as Shadd has 2 lead blockers again. Shadd falls near the 20.
Shadd doing a nice job following Nolan Vierguts. I haven't called Vierguts yet. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm messing your name up. number 55 there in the lead blocker. That Chad followed all the way down there for the first down.
Well, 45 seconds and counting. There's a jet sweep by Lane Egger. 135-pound junior rocking the neck roll for intimidation purposes.
I love the neck roll. The neck roll always looks classy. I don't know why. It does just make you look so much bigger, too. You think about it, all it is adding a little. It's like essentially wearing a collared shirt that's made of foam, but nonetheless, it's effective. And as you can see there, the intimidation worked.
I'll be honest. I thought he was 185 before I looked at the roster and it says 130, and I'm like, what the heck?
I would have went as high as 190 even.
Well, Shad keeps it himself again. And he's going to be just short of the end zone as there's 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and that is going to do things here. Lakeview Vikings win on senior night 42-19. They move on to 4-4 and still have slim hopes of the playoffs with a very big game next week, Grant, against the crosstown rivals in the Scotus Shamrocks. Scouts unfortunately dropped to 2-5. They have a tough one as well next week. They host Bishop Newman, another top 10 team in their own right, as they round out the regular season. Thoughts, reactions, feelings, Grant, before we hear from Coach Kurt Frenzen as well as our Columbus Community Hospital player of the game, whom we're not going to tell you who it is. You're going to have to wait and see. A lot of good candidates in this one.
Kind of how, if Lakeview came out and played on both sides of the ball pretty rhythmically, that's how I thought this one was going to shake out. Lakeview did give a few more opportunities to David City, as we saw. They had some trouble holding on to the ball, something they're really going to need to clean up if they're going to compete this next weekend against SCOTUS, who is, no secret, they're very talented. David City, they did some good things. They had, they got some bright spots on there. I thought
I'm plugging 2 or 1.
A couple of their players did some good things. Thielen was one of those guys. Papa as well. They had some highlights on that offense. Papa did some great things on defense too. So it'll be interesting to see how this last weekend turns out. I'm always looking forward to that last regular season of high school football, because things can get wild. So we'll see how they do. We have Lakeview and Lakeview and SCOTUS is who we got, and then Columbus High's taking on Millard South. They're having a tough time right now against Fremont, but they'll be taking out Millard South next weekend. So it's going to be a good weekend for football next weekend as well.
So you see Coach Frenzen there with his team, very pleased, has a great group of seniors. And we've both been able to talk to him. He really cares about his team, and every good coach does. Not saying that any of the other coaches around here don't. Coach Williams, Coach Linder at SCOTUS. Columbus is really pretty blessed and pretty lucky to have those 3 leaders at the helm, which they do. Amford also doing a great job with David City, and football's more than just football. They like to preach the life lessons and be a positive influence for these players, and that definitely is the case.
Yeah, and Kurt Frenz is one of those guys, like you said, we get a chance to talk to him quite a bit. I was talking to my dad the other day. He lives here in town as well, but just kind of talking about football in the area, and Coach Frenzen, he made the comment, it seems like he really does a good job of getting the best out of his players, and I think that's just kind of a testament to his coaching ability and what he's done over these past 15 years that he's been here. So just a good coach, and good to see him pick up a win here tonight. Ferg, a good coach as well, really nice guy. We've only had a chance to talk to him a little bit. Had covered this is their second game we've had a chance to cover him, but he's doing some good things over there as well. Kind of a tough season, had some tough opponents, but they got some bright side, and they got one more game left, but then you got to keep working and start prepping for the next year. So best of luck to them as they move on to this next week.
And glad to be showing you some of these highlights, brought to you by Bill's Tire, which highlight the candidates, one of which we'll be hearing from shortly as our Columbus Community Hospital player of the game. You see Dylan Johnson wanted that touchdown there on that 29-yard carry. Don't worry, he did punch it in the next play, and And he comes down and shows he can do it with his arm. His Fultz right up the seam for 40-some yards. And that's really what put the game out of reach for the Scouts when that play happened. Extended the lead to 20-plus, and that was a deficit David City couldn't come back to.
You know, and just a comment, too, at the end there when Shad was just on that, came down to the inch-yard line on that run. You know, he was probably pretty thirsty to try to get in there and score some points. So, you know, and to go back to Fultz, there are 2 big sacks in a row by Fultz there in the backfield. Just wanted to mention how I feel bad for Shad, unable to get that touchdown there as that clock ticked down. But Trent Roth right there on a big run, too, in that second half. They did a decent job of containing him for the most part throughout the game. He was able to burst off for about 5 or so yards on most of the carries. So he was still effective. But he's a guy we've seen break the big run here and there. So credit to that defensive line for David City. And they did do some good things up front. They did a good job of crashing, finding gaps, finding holes. But Lakeview just a little bit too athletic out there on the edge. Was able to get downfield. Here's a big run by Lemberg. The return specialist was able to get in there. And there's the big tackle by Papa, who, as I said, had a nice game defensively from that linebacker position.
He really had a game. I mean, besides quarterback, he had that one-handed interception and then that tackle there. He really showed he's an all-around athlete for this squad. And
he's a really good player, and he's a fun guy to watch. Definitely a guy you leading your offense. They were unable to get things going. Few in there on that late run as well. Got that playmaker. What do you call it? That speed at the end. What do you call that big play? That
afterburners.
Those afterburners. Either way, he kicked in the nos. Just got back in that Fast and the Furious movie. Got around that is there. 42-19. Waiting for Rachel Urbanski here, as you said.
Yeah, Coach Frenzen may be a little hard to wrangle up. He's getting pictures with all his seniors right now. It is senior night. We can forgive him for that. But a very great group that he has.
Yeah, you just have to listen to us talk a little bit more, which is okay.
That's a gift to a lot of people.
We don't mind talking.
We just talk about these seniors too. Dylan Johnson obviously is one of them that starts. Trey Shanks, Chase Lemberg, Trent Roth, Noah Duncan, Derek Smith, Grant Zimba, as well as Austin Fultz and Trevor Schultz. Those are the starters that are seniors on this team. But also Tate Jansen, Quinn Madison, a player who was injured and wasn't able to play this year. One of the key players coming into this game, Coach Frenzen had to say he had high hopes for, so unfortunate for Madison, but we still want to give him credit for the stuff he did last year and still does for support for this team. And that rounds out the seniors, so a very good group of them. And a lot of them, like we mentioned, are in this starting core that are making this team what they are.
You know, and really to attribute these seniors, you know, you had a group of them, but it's not uncommon for you to have a group come in players come in as juniors and that'd be the first time they get starting time on varsity, but they came in last year, and that's really was the main, you know, that was their team. That was you know, last year that's when they were returning was just that core group. And after a kind of a tough year, they were able to turn things around over the summer, over the off season, and bring out a pretty good product this year to put on the field. And you mentioned it earlier, and we'll get back to that in a little bit. As we're saying, they're a little bit better than their schedule likes to show, but Rachel Urbanski finally got a hold of Coach Frenzen and our player of the game.
And yeah, we're going to hear from him shortly. So Kurt Frenzen, alongside Rachel Urbanski and our Columbus Community Hospital player of the game. Let's see what they have to say. Rachel.
Thanks, guys. Austin, big win for you on your senior night. Tell me how that feels.
Oh, you know, it feels pretty good to get out here with the whole team and win and just everyone be excited. I mean, it feels good. I mean, being a captain and all and winning on a senior night, it means a lot to the team and everyone out here.
What was going through your head on that long touchdown catch?
Oh, I seen the safety bite to the opposite side of me, and I was like, it's there. And I seen Dylan throw me the ball, and I knew it was going to be a touchdown probably. And I looked over, and I seen the corner chased me, so I picked up the speed a little bit and got in the end zone.
All right, well, great game.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, you have a big rivalry game next week coming up against SCOTUS. What are your expectations for that game?
Oh, it'll be a hard-hitting football game. It's one that, everybody in the area would like to attend because it's one that definitely is always hard-hitting, hard-fought four-quarter game, and I expect this year to be no different.
All right, great. Thank you so much.
You bet, thank you.
Brandon Grant, we'll go back to you.
Big win for Lakeview there. You hear from our Columbus Community Hospital player of the game, Austin Foltz. He had that big touchdown catch, also a big force on the defense, 2 sacks as well, along with another slew of tackles. And Coach Kurt Frenzen always pleased with his team as they advance to 4-4 and prepare for that big rivalry with the SCOTUS Shamrocks. I know the anticipation is killing you. Don't worry, though. We'll be broadcasting it live on ColumbusNewsTeam.com. 42-19 is the final. For Columbus News Team, our production crew, Aaron Trout, our camera operators, Grant Ott and Rachel Urbanski, I'm Brandon Axmit. We'll catch you next week.
Motor Company, they feel shopping for a new vehicle should not be complicated. That's why during the Chrysler Anniversary Celebration, they offer everyone their very best price 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. At Columbus Motor Company, it's just one low price. Plain and simple, always. So if you're ready for a new vehicle, stop by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer at 2806 23rd Street in Columbus, or visit them at onelowpricene.com. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We really focus on the people that we serve. Relationships are the most important thing to us, and because we're smaller, we're flexible enough and we can make those quick decisions to meet your needs.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.